Hello guys, thanks to Joe for providing this presentation on the theme of justice in Othello. The play presents various different characters' opinions of what is just and what is fair. One of those is Othello. He expects to receive justice himself and believes that he's earned justice. He believes that all of the things he's done mean that he should be treated in a certain way. I've said to you many times, he sort of regards himself as being like a walking portfolio of achievements. He wants people to respect him for what he's done. This quotation here is a good example. Othello almost expects people to misjudge him, and he's always reminding people that he deserves fair treatment, as though he expects them to give him unfair treatment. He talks about his race as if it automatically means that he should be treated unfairly, and it's only his achievements that mean we should treat him like an equal. He asks people to speak of me as I am, not to misjudge him. He metes out justice, in his eyes, to Desdemona, and when he's challenged about it by Emilia, he says, "I am not sorry neither," because he feels that he's done the right thing. And yet he wavers at the point where he's going to kill her. He has a sort of a mini trial and says, I cannot kill her. Othello seems to only be able to accept what he's done by calling it justice. And yet it's perfectly obvious that it isn't just. And he's very unjust in the way that he treats Desdemona, refusing her a chance to defend herself. Now, in taking his revenge on her in this way, that brings us round to a genre of Elizabethan drama that was very popular, the revenge tragedy. Now, there are two revengers in this play. One is Othello and one is Iago. Othello seeks revenge for the destruction of his reputation and takes it on Cassio and on Desdemona. Iago seeks revenge for what he sees as an injustice, his being passed over for promotion. Now, the thing that gave revenge tragedy its appeal was the fact that it was always very bloodthirsty and someone always got killed, but the audience would be taught a little moral lesson because the revenger was usually in the wrong. At least he was in the wrong if he was doing something off his own bat without what you might say was a divine sanction for what he was doing. A revenger really can only take revenge justifiably if he has God on his side. Now, neither Othello or Iago do. Once the act of revenge is carried out, you can see very clearly that Othello has not a leg to stand on. The more he keeps on trying to justify to other people the rightness of his actions, the more you realise that he's lost the plot completely. All of the accusations he levels at her are terribly unjust, and they don't have a ring of truth about them at all. In fact, the more he repeats his ridiculous accusations, the more you feel he's trying to convince himself as much as he's trying to convince anybody else. The other character who claims to be seeking justice is Iago, but Iago is just plain bitter. I don't think anybody could ever say exactly why. He offers us a number of different reasons why he hates Othello and why he wants revenge, but it's just bitterness, it isn't justice. Immediately following the most terrible act of injustice, the death of Desdemona at the hands of Othello, we hear the voice of real justice, when Emilia sees instantly what the truth is, hears Othello's slander of Desdemona, and immediately cries for help. Even though she's a very down-to-earth and ordinary person, she sees instantly what is right and what is not right, and she has no trouble at all shouting for help, even though she knows that she stands to be killed at the hands of Othello. both Othello and Iago are unjust revengers. They take revenge, but they don't have God on their side. Now, we in the audience know that, and that means that basically they're always doomed. We know that they're always going to suffer at the end and get their comeuppance. This is a far cry from the original depiction of justice in the courts of Venice. In Act 1 we saw that it was perfectly possible for justice to prevail as long as people were reasonable. Clear dialogue between people dispelled the passions of the early part of the play. Of course, the irony at the end of the play is that Othello, in attempting to achieve justice, commits the most unjust act that we could ever imagine, the punishment of an innocent person for something that they didn't do. And that's all I have to say about that.